This video will be a guide to BLAZIKEN, one of the recent additions to Pokemon Unite. It's a melee all-rounder focused on physical attack, mainly played either on top or bot path. You can also central area with it, but mainly because you go stacking items, which I explain later, you often see it either in top or bot path. Also one of the most fun characters in the entire game right now. As you can see, it's currently my most played Pokemon in this season, in Season 15. I absolutely love playing it, and I could literally play it every single game. At first, it might look pretty complicated to play, but I'm here to give you a lot of tips on how to make it much easier, and you will realize that this Pokemon plays pretty smoothly and doesn't look as complicated as it actually is. For health items, attack rate and cookie is pretty much always the way to go. I personally like Muscle Band as my third item, but it can also be Weakness Policy, it can be Razor Claw and Focus Band. All of those are totally fine items in this last slot. I will explain later why I like Muscle Band a lot than other items, but you're totally free to go Weakness, Razor Claw, Focus Band, or Muscle Band. For a battle item, this is no discussion. I would say always Eject Button. Full Heal is also quite nice, of course, but Eject Button is absolutely game-changing for BLAZIKEN, which I'll also explain a bit later. And for emblems, we just go for a classic 6 white, 6 brown emblem plate. Just try to focus on minus special attack. Doesn't matter if it's HP or attack. The more attack you have, also nice. The more HP you have is nice. Just try to get every single minus special attack golden emblem that you have into this page, while still having 6 brown and 6 white, of course. We start the game off as Torchic. We have Ember and Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace is, once you hit an opponent, you can use it to dash a second time. If you miss it, this dash will not happen. Like this, if you miss it, it will not happen. And then for the second move, we have Ember, which is just straight up skill shot in front that does damage to opponents. So, for the passive, you can already see there's something on our opponents. We mark our opponents with our passive. Every basic attack adds a stack, you can see, and at 5 stacks it explodes, does damage, and BLAZIKEN also heals for a percentage of its maximum HP. And that's why Cookie is also quite nice, because the healing depends on how much max HP we have. So more max HP means more healing. This can also be activated with every single move, you can see right here. We use all my moves, I already have 3 stacks, I do 2 more basic attacks, and we proc the passive. Very important for sustaining in team fights. You can also use Altaria. The more opponents you obviously hit with your abilities, the more healing you get from every single target. So to always heal back up, you can always look for Altaria and heal up very fast on hitting all of those multiple times. I want to show a few examples of this while gameplay is on. We can even do it behind a wall, eject button across the wall, and reach our opponents quite easily. So it's very versatile, and your opponents will just not, they will not have a lot of counterplay to this one. You can see right here, Venusaur has no idea my eject button is up, and you obviously kind of have to, make it happen. Here again, there's zoom out as well, so you can see it has a lot of use in games pretty easily. There's always something you want to look out for, because they will not expect it. It's very simple. Here again, we can't reach the Mew. The Mew's trying to dodge overheat, but with our eject button, we're able to still hit Mew. And because of overheat's insane damage it does, we can also secure objectives like this quite easily. It's one of the strongest secures right now in the entire game. Then we get to level 8, and this is where the game really starts for BLAZIKEN. We pick up our Unite move. And our Unite move is similar to maybe like Dragapult. It's an extra ability. It's not really a Unite move. You switch your stance. So you go from Blaze Kick Overheat, you press it one time. We go now to Focus Blast and Fire Punch. And both of these have different effects as well. While you in this form, you have more attack speed on your basic attacks. You can see right here, attack speed is quite fast, 848 damage. And if you switch into this mode right here, have to wait something out very fast as well, because you also get a buff. Your attacks are slower, but they have more AoE and also do more damage. You can see 412 right now. So switching into this form gives you move speed and attack speed for a short duration as well. You can see right here, move speed increased. And then switching into this form gives you an attack damage increase. So you always want to make sure that you actually switch around quite often to make use of those buffs. You also get a small shield. You can see there's like a 5% HP shield you get. It's not a lot, but these small shields, while cycling in team fights, can still keep you alive. Now to Focus Blast and Fire Punch. Focus Blast is just a skill shot direction that explodes, and it does damage in AoE and also slows. You can see the AoE is actually quite big. So even from this far away, you can still hit opponents with that AoE explosion. It's nice to either start a fight or to finish off someone who is running away. And then Fire Punch, we can hit it twice on an opponent. We have to hit the one time. After hitting opponents, we can activate it again. If we miss it one time, gonna make sure I have cooldowns on. You can see it will be on a cooldown, so similar to the level 1 move. So we have to hit it on opponents, and we can use it again. You can also redirect it. So if I just press it to the left, you can see we go to the left, and if I do a right to a left, we can actually redirect our second Fire Punch in that sequence. So this one we can recharge, and then this one we can also change. So if you want to go to the right, you just do this. If you want to go down, you do this. So you can see it's similar to like Blaze Kick or Jump Kick Dojo, where you can change the direction. As I said earlier, if you hit multiple targets with your mark, you can actually heal depending on how many you have. So in this form right here, it's actually quite easy to just build up a lot of healing ground. You can see almost back to full HP with like 2 fire punches, a focus blast, a few basic attacks. It's quite easy to just proc our opponents or our mark or passive very, very fast and heal back up. Otherwise, there was a bug before that doesn't exist anymore. You were able to cancel Fire Punch with basic attacking. That doesn't happen anymore. Pretty much what I do, I just spam it twice. Just for like insane burst damage. You can also use these two together. Like Fire Punch, Focus Blast, Fire Punch. And you can do insane amounts of burst very, very fast. Pretty much how I combo BLAZIKEN on how you start a fight is, like someone is far away. You start with the Focus Blast, right? You slow them down. You do a quick double Fire Punch into a basic attack. Look for a Blaze Kick into a wall because it stuns. And try to finish them off with Overheat. That's like the most normal standard combo, I would say, when you're from far away, right? You start in this form, actually. You kind of start in this form. And then you get the move speed as well. You can close the gap. Use this. Both use all your damage. Go into this form. Blaze Kick into the wall. And then Overheat. Maybe I should turn off the cooldowns because it makes it look a bit weird. So again, we start in this form, get some move speed right here, close the gap to opponents, do a lot of damage, switch into this Unite, Blaze Kick into wall, into Overheat. But in general, you just want to switch around a lot. You just kind of switch pretty much every time Unite move is up, I kind of press it to do stuff. Also, tall grass are your best friends. So when you like run away from someone, always go back in tall grass and charge up your Overheat and hope enemies face check into it. You will always see me when I play BLAZIKEN, stay in these tall grasses, and try to make sure opponents walk into me. Try to predict when they walk into me. Also, again, it gives you attack damage bonus. So it's preferably you're in this form first, and then you go into this form for extra attack damage so that your Overheat does even more damage during this duration. On level 11, we get Overheat upgrade and also a Fire Punch upgrade, which just increases our damage of both Fire Punch and Overheat. And on level 13, we get Focus Blast Plus, which gives us a stronger slow. Now it's up to 60%, so it's quite strong, easy to, you know, catch up to your opponents. And then for the other form, for Blaze Kick, it now stuns even longer, so it's even easier to always charge up your Overheat. You can see it's like the perfect duration now of where when your Overheat is max charged. So if you do Blaze Kick into Overheat, you see they're still stunned by the end of when our Overheat is fully charged up. Also important to know, of course, you can't Blaze Kick across walls because you're supposed to push people into walls, but you can Fire Punch across certain walls if they're not too big, right? Like this one right here might be a bit, but if you find the right angle, you can still make it across. This one is a bit too big, so we can't make it across this wall. But you can just go into try mode and check which walls you can make it over. With Fire Punch, it's going to be quite nice to figure out as well. And then as well, of course, you can always do Overheat into eject across a wall and surprise your opponents. So let's go over some gameplay because that's the best way of really explaining a BLAZIKEN gameplay and giving a better tips. We start with Ace. Because it does more damage, and because of course we want to try and stack our attack weight and cookie. Unluckily, we have a Trevenant who was also stacking. He locked it in last second. Usually I would not recommend if someone on bot or top path where you're going as well already locked in an attack weight or special specs character, I would recommend not picking a second one because it makes laning phase quite awkward. So walking to the right side now, and we're going to try to get our first stack right here up against the Mewtwo and the Blissey. And we want to use our Ember and Ace together to maybe get a last hit. And this one went over to our Trevenant, which is fine. At least our Trevenant can stack now. I'm just like, okay, whatever, let him deal with that. I'm just going to at least get safe experience to get to level 5, 7, and 8 faster. Those are, of course, your power spikes. Level 7 for last hitting. And after level 8, you can actually start playing the game properly. So early game can be a bit rough. I would recommend if you have, you know, if you play duo queue, have an XP share defender or support with you. Makes BLAZIKEN's life much easier. And I'm going to wait for the last hit right here. Here we use our Ember and Ace together to get the last hit. And then we get ganked by our Decidueye right here. But we're just going to eject button forward because our Mewtwo is also going to get a KO. Now I can walk up and maybe score those 10. Going to wait a tiny bit though. And we get our 10 points in. And we get a very nice jungle gank. Try to pick up the coin on the ground. But again, our Trevenant is also stacking. So he picks that one up. We steal the berry away. And now we have 3 stacks, which I'm already quite happy with. Of course, I want 6 as fast as possible. But you shouldn't always overforce it. Like you saw me there. I was realizing I can't get stacks. So I just went over to the left side to get safe experience. Here we use our Blaze Kick, similar to Dragon Rush Garchomp, to get Blissey and the Decidueye into the enemy team. There's also something people are not aware about when they play against this Pokemon, that Blaze Kick is actually can give you kill pressure. Here Trevenant or like Mewtwo gets sadly one of our stacks away as well. So I'm at 5 now, and Trevenant takes this one as well. So I'm just going to sit on 5 now, but which is totally fine. Of course, I'm still quite happy with 5. I'm going to get my last one eventually, hopefully. We don't want to break the goal because it's a bit too early so far. Breaking a goal at 8 minutes would not be a good idea. I'm pinging my Mewtwo now to go back to central area. For some reason, lately, there's an influx of people who just don't go back to their central area. Here I missed my Blaze Kick, but I should have used it on the left side. I wanted to go upwards because you see the Ataria spawning. So I want to make it, of course, to the Ataria fight as fast as possible because this is my level 7. I'm looking for the Owl. I do a Blaze Kick into eject button, which is also something you can do. And then we go onto the Blissey and we also take the Blissey down. So you can also, I actually didn't showcase this earlier, but you can also do Blaze Kick into eject button, but mainly it's used on overheat. It's also a bit, easier to do so. No, there's nothing really to do. We're just spinning around. I guess I can fast forward maybe a tiny bit as well. We're just waiting for stuff to respawn, but then my team is fighting. Again, Blaze Kick. This is so easy, right, as well. Like if opponents just walk into you, just Blaze Kick them towards the left side. You just walk up, and then you just grab them, and then you go Blaze Kick towards the side, and they will get with you, and then, easy KOs. And then I charge up my overheat, slowed, wood hammered, and then the Decidueye has no chance. Waiting for my overheat now to go for the last hit, charging it up. And now I'm almost level 8. So I still kind of want to break the goal right here. Like, we don't have to, but we can, of course. I want to clear this very fast. You can see we have very fast Ataria clear as well, of course, with Blaze Kick overheat. And now we are level 8. And now we're an absolute monster. I'm just going to start diving this Blissey. I have bonus attack spirit now. I switch around Blaze Kick into overheat. Down fully, charge it up because I don't have to. It was very low. And now we take our 30 points in. And now we can also go for Reggie. Now, where does the Muscle Band come, in play? Already just auto attack damage. Like, we do a lot of auto attack still. You can see it. We have extra attack speed when we are in our, Fire Punch form. I'm just going to call them Fire Punch and Overheat form. I think it's a bit easier to understand. And it just helps me clear objectives. Like, BLAZIKEN with Overheat has very good objective last hitting, right? So, especially in solo queue, you can do Reggie and Rayquaza pretty much on your own. There's games where my team was completely getting destroyed and I started doing Rayquaza in a good scenario here as well. Do very nice play over here. Overheat in Fog of War or like in Tall Grass. And then we Stone Seal coming and they just go down. So these are the plays you want to look out for with Overheat. So just charging it up, and I already know if the Decidueye walks here. I could have also used it on these two, but the Decidueye walks up here. That's my primary target still right now, because it's then me Central Area Pokemon. So he walks up. This Overheat would actually still hit, but I want to do it fast, because if I don't eject button instantly, they get knocked back by my Overheat. It might be a bit harder to, catch the Decidueye, so I eject button across the wall, and then we switch around as well in our style. Again, we're going to keep spamming our Unite move as much as we can, because this resets our moves. It also does AoE damage, both of these moves around them, of course. And then we can start heading towards the score, score 40 more points. And now the game is looking quite good. So just with plays like this, always Overheat in Tall Grass, look for eject button plays. You want to be the one that sets up these kind of plays. Of course, you can have to hope your opponents walk into you, but that happens quite often, of course, because your opponents obviously want to do something as well. Let's see the blue buff right here. We have so much damage right now. And I'm just looking again. I'm in Tall Grass. I'm going to see if someone walks by. Maybe I can charge some Overheat, switching to this form right now, run away a bit. I see the Decidueye, but my Fire Punch doesn't quite reach. Back in the Tall Grass again. They obviously know that I'm currently around right here. But the Decidueye can't do much right now. If he walks up, he's pretty much dead. Blazing gets a few points in. And I go back into Tall Grass again, waiting for someone to face check. You can see me consistently switching around form. Now I see the opponent's actually behind us. I'm switching to this form. Finish on the Ataria, looking for Blaze Kick into the wall on the Mewtwo. Doesn't quite hit it, but the Overheat damage is so much right now. And we're going to switch into my form and just completely murder the Decidueye. So this is also like, it does so much damage, even this form as well. So we Blaze Kick, right? We charge up our Overheat. We make sure that it goes onto this, otherwise it doesn't do as much damage. So you can see right here, then we activate it. You can see how much damage it does. It's absolutely insane. And now I see the Decidueye walking up. I know this guy is pretty much almost dead already, because my team is here. So I just instantly switch around and Fire Punch, Focus Blast, pretty much all at the same time, hit this Decidueye, and he just gets completely one-shot while my team is finished off the Mewtwo. So, also with the move speed you get, attack speed, you can so fast like change onto someone in the middle of a team fight by switching into the Fire Punch style. And you can see it does a lot of damage. Again, going back in Tall Grass, and then we chase right here, I'm going to Overheat. And we hit another big Overheat right here, but I sadly have to run away for now. I gain a lot of distance with my Fire Punch, Focus Blast, and now you can see now the Muscle Band comes in play and my passive. I'm going to start basic attacking this with a lot of attack speed. I'm going to build up my passive multiple times on my opponents. And you can see I'm already healing up and I'm burning this Regice super fast. I do one mistake right now. I charged my Overheat a bit too early. So in the end, I have to get it with a basic attack. That could have been very badly, and I should have done it a bit. I actually missed my Blaze Kick some on the Reggie, which is absolutely insane. Switch my styles around, get a shield, and it's just so clutch how many scenarios you can live by just switching around into the other stance and just using your abilities. So now level 12.5. I'm going bot right now because I thought my team has top under control. I was just checking if someone... Of course, right here. We also keep switching style around because the Fire Punch style gives us move speed, right? So we can run around the map faster. We can use Unite move into Blaze Kick, Unite move into Fire Punch, and you can see we can be across the map pretty fast. So we start with the Focus Blast, looking for opponents now, switching around, overheat in this direction, and somehow actually hit the Mimikyu, but I actually have to run away right here. I'm going to use my Fire Punch style again to get move speed and run away. I was a bit badly played. I think I could have done a Fire Punch a bit earlier. I'm going to take a Rip Buff, heal up a bit, and be ready to hopefully defend top lane right here in case something happens. Focus Blast onto Mimikyu, but the enemy team is already kinda gone. I'm going to clear this fast. Someone walks close, I can always do this, and you can see the damage it does, right? Like, people don't expect this. People just don't expect the eject button. It's something you probably have to expect at some point, right? The more you play against BLAZIKEN, but I'm just like, he thinks he's so safe. And then he just gets eject button on and he loses. Look at this. His entire HP bar is almost yellow. 3,400 damage and almost gets one shot right here. I mean, one more basic attack and we take down the Mewtwo. Switching to Fire Punch right here into Focus Blast to slow down the Blissey. And I think this is where I actually went a bit too far though. I keep getting egg bombed. I get mean looked right here. Charge up overheat. You can see how much damage it did stay to the Decidueye. But sadly, I'm locking the mean look and didn't have any more changes, so I actually go down. Bit overextended there. Not the smartest thing, but at least I reset my death timer, right? So we respawn, run back to bot lane for the Vegice. I'm gonna fight the Mimikyu right here, knock him into the wall, and now we get an easy overheat that he can't quite dodge, but sadly was a bit too late. So actually gets the eject button out, but we just go in and finish it off with a Focus Blast. Now we can go back to the Vegice, switching into this form for more attack damage, into the overheat, and we get an easy secure. Now we can look for this fight, switching form again, looking for Fire Punch and Focus Blast on my opponents. They're even using Unite moves right now, trying to go for the Decidueye, Blaze Kick into the void, charge up or overheat with the few basic attacks in as well, and we get the Decidueye. After recall though, of course, and now at Rayquaza fight, it can be quite difficult to play BLAZIKEN because it doesn't really have an impactful Unite move. Of course, the Unite move is quite strong, but not compared to other Unite moves. In the bush right here again in Tall Grass, charging up our overheat, doing a lot of damage, but I have to be careful right now, I have to really watch out for mean look. We get a nice Focus Blast again on the Mewtwo, finish him off as well. Now we go in with the Fire Punch, switching around, Blaze Kick into the wall to stun the Mimikyu. And now Trevenant hits a nice engage as well. Switching form again, getting a shield, getting move speed. And now we use our Fire Punch to just close the gap onto the Decidueye very easily. Switch around again, and we finish it off. So you can see I'm just, every time this is up on cooldown, I pretty much use it. And that's just the best way of actually playing it. So again, a bit slower. So I'm going to lose the Unite right here. I have no cooldowns right now, so I'm switching around, and then I Focus Blast into this direction. And we used to use a double Fire Punch to get, you know, this much closer to the Decidueye. And then as soon as all this is back up again, I press it, Blaze Kick, overheat in case, but didn't even have to use overheat right now. And now with the Muscle Band, I'm just going to start auto-taking Ray, start taking it down. The Muscle Band will help me take down Rayquaza so much faster. Switching to my other style before it gets low. I still want to have the basic attack damage, which is ticking right now, and then we charge the overheat fully up, and we secure Rayquaza. So you don't want to switch too early, because then you lose your attack damage buff, which will mean, you know, less damage. So you can see right now, this is my attack damage buff right here, and the moment I press overheat or release it, it's still up, so I still get the bonus damage from my Unite move passive. And yeah, then we just go score, and the game is pretty much over. It was a pretty nice BLAZIKEN game, I think, for the guide as well, to really explain how this Pokemon works. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel, check out my other Ultimate guides, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!